Rise of Kingdoms just released a 22-second trailer over on the official Arabic YouTube channel, which features what I assume to be a brand new legendary commander. So today we're gonna break this down and figure out who is this guy and what can we look forward to. But first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. Now, as you guys know, I am a partnered creator with Rise of Kingdoms, so if you want more breaking news, make sure you subscribe down below and click that bell. Now, I'm gonna be real, you guys, I actually think that this might have been a leak. It might have been accidental. I have no idea. I asked for permission before I even made this video, so I know I'm allowed to talk about this, but it seems very bizarre that this video would only come out on the official Arabic YouTube channel, and then 6 hours have gone by and this video has not gone live on any of their other social media channels. So maybe it just went up early by accident, or maybe I'm just early and it's gonna go up on the other channel soon and I'll look like an idiot for recording this on the Arabic YouTube channel. But let's quickly watch the actual video, okay? Looks like archers to me, boys. I don't know, I'm not a very smart man, but I mean, these are definitely archers. Are they trying to tell us something? I don't know. Bro, the drip on this guy is absolutely diabolical. That looks freaking insane. Yo, it looks like an anime fight scene. Hey, there he is, dude. 7 kingdoms, 1 emperor. So this is obviously a reference to the 7 states in China. Now, I'm, again, not a smart man. We'll try to talk about that in just a second, but really I'm not super knowledgeable. But as you can see, dude is in the back here. You can see arrows flying over his head. He looks like an absolute giga chad, okay? And here we have Bai Chi coming in for a charge here, all right? So again, obviously Bai Chi is a Chinese commander, so this is clearly another Chinese commander in the back here. Now, what I was saying before, and this is Wikipedia, so if any of this stuff is wrong, don't get mad at me. It's just this, it is what it is, okay? But the 7 warring states, or 7 kingdoms, were the 7 leading hegemonic states during the warring states period of ancient China. We had the Han, Zhao, Wei, Chu, Yan, Qi, and Qin. Again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing any of that. However, okay, if we take a look here, 7 kingdoms, 1 emperor. So this looks like the emperor that probably unified all 7. And if we come down here, it says, of the 7 warring states, the state of Qin grew to be the strongest and eventually conquered and successfully annexed the other 6 states. Han was the first to fall in 230 BCE, while Qi was the last to surrender in 221 BCE. Yingzheng, the king of Qin, created the new title of Huangdi and became China's first emperor. Qin Shi Huang, the Qin state, then became the Qin dynasty, and China entered its imperial era, which lasted for the next 2 millennia. So actual giga chad right there. And so this is my suspicion. I'm thinking this dude, right, is this dude right here, Qin Shi Huang. God, that's so embarrassing. I'm so bad at pronouncing these names, man. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Is that kin or chin or sin or something? I don't know. I'm sorry. Whitest man you've ever met before, okay? But he was the first emperor of China, basically, all right? Regarded as the first ever supreme leader, all right? Basically, first ever ruler of China, supreme leader, actual giga chad. Looks like a freaking, he looks like a baller, okay? If we're being honest, looks like an absolute baller here. But what does this mean for Rise of Kingdoms, right? Well, this could be one of 2 things, okay? First of all, this could simply be the revelation of a new commander, right? They could just be teasing a new commander, open and shut case, and this is it. Now, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, I've mentioned recently that I do suspect a new archer commander is coming to the game very soon. I think that the new archer commander is coming in the middle of July. So if we take a look at the calendar here, I suspect the new archer will land on the Wheel of Fortune, depending on your time zone, on July 14th or 15th, right? That's my expectation on average. So it would make sense that if this were the new archer commander, that we would start to see some information coming out about them. Typically we learn about them about a month before they actually land in the game. So maybe if they end up coming 2 weeks earlier than my expectations, then this lines up perfectly with when we would expect this commander to land. Now, the reason that I think July 14th or 15th for the Wheel of Fortune commander is because that is about 70 days since we saw the Bai Chi release for infantry. I know, I can't believe that it's already been that. I mean, really we're still like over 30 days out, but that's typically how this pattern works here in Rise of Kingdoms. I've been following the game for years now, so that's kind of what I've learned over time. But sometimes they release commanders with a 56-day window, right? And if they're doing that, then we can expect the new or next commander release to be at the beginning of July, and that would line up perfectly with this reveal. So I think that, you know, but with the timing of this video coming out, and also obviously we have, I mean, look at all those arrows, right? Like it seems like this is a Archer reveal. However, I will say that typically when they reveal new commanders lately, they've been revealing them in pairs, and also they don't typically reveal they don't have a whole trailer for just one commander and then post it all on its own. In fact, lately they've been revealing them over on social media, so on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. So this is definitely not the typical way that they reveal a new commander, which makes me think that this actually could be a commander that is part of something bigger. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you guys remember back in, I think it was October or November of last year, they actually did this exact same thing with Ragnar Prime. As you guys know, Ragnar Prime came out into the game as a standalone commander as part of a key story in Rise of Kingdoms. He arrived with the King of All Britain event, or KVK I should say, and they did reveal with Ragnar Prime's release that every year they plan on releasing a key story, a key KVK story, where they're going to have they're going to make a bigger deal out of it, right? They're going to theme the KVK around a historical battle or historical war or event or something along those lines. And these commanders that come with these key events, they're not going to be on the Wheel of Fortune, they're going to be like a special sort of thing, right? And they might not arrive during the normal release window that we would expect for our commanders. So since that is true, and since this kind of resembles a similar reveal, I don't know if you guys remember, this was the reveal for Ragnar Prime, right? It was actually a similar thing where it was a very epic video, and you know, we were kind of taking a look at a sneak peek, and it was just like, oh my god, Ragnar Prime is here, right? And we were trying to guess, I remember making videos about this, we were trying to guess, oh, who is this Ragnar Prime? Nobody actually thought that that would be the case, right? There was, you know, other commanders that were expected, right? But regardless, in this same vein as that, we are now seeing this commander revealed. And just like in the King of All Britain event, we also saw Ethelfled was in this as well. I don't know if I can find it quickly enough, but the point is that you know, there were other Rise of Kingdoms commanders featured in that video, just like we see Baichi right here. So all of that to say that this could easily be the reveal trailer for this year's upcoming key story, and the commander that is coming with that key story is the Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Again, sorry for the mispronunciation, but the first emperor of unified China, basically. Okay, and I suspect that, you know, this commander, if they're going to be a part of a key story, I suspect that they're going to be probably an archer commander, right? And why would that be the case? Well, first of all, we know that archers are kind of in a bad spot right now, as at least compared to infantry and to cavalry, right? Infantry and cavalry are just a leg up right now. And so if there were ever to be a time where archers should get an additional release beyond just the regular release schedule, I think now would be a good time to do that, right? I think it would make a lot of sense to give archers not only their upcoming archer release, but then also they'll get a third commander here, which is just a new generic legendary archer that comes with a new KVK story. And hopefully, you know, if Ragnar Prime is to be sort of a benchmark for the power of these sort of special KVK commanders, then maybe Emperor Qin, and again, based on his significance in history, like I can imagine that this commander is going to be an absolute giga chad, right? So, you know, this is kind of, if we take this theory, right, and I just want to be very clear, this is my theory about what we're looking at here, because again, this is in Arabic and we don't actually have any more details, but I do know more details will be coming soon. I do have that confirmation. But the point is, if we use Ragnar Prime as a benchmark, he was a skill damage commander, came out of nowhere, he was super powerful, right? And those three things are kind of exactly what archers need right now, right? I think that it would make a lot of sense for that to be the case. So those are sort of my two theories, right? The first of which being, this is just the next archer release. Pretty obvious, the timing works out, it makes a lot of sense, right? And you know, the fact that they're doing a whole video for it, maybe it's just because he's such a significant, you know, historical commander in China. Maybe they thought it would be worthwhile to do an entire video for him because they expect him to be very like hyped up, right? And that would make a lot of sense. However, I think if we saw a special KVK story for the 7 warring states period in China, I mean, I can't imagine a more iconic like event in Chinese history, right? And that's partially because I'm an idiot and I have no idea about Chinese history, so like that could be it as well, right? But I would say that that is kind of the most famous period when you look at sort of ancient Chinese like war stories or movies or games or whatever the case might be. And so if they were going to make a special KVK story for, you know, ancient China, that seems like a perfect fit in my opinion, right? And so I think both of these theories are equally likely, and I'm really curious to know what you guys think. Like, who do you think this commander is? Do you think we're onto something here? Do you think that I'm completely wrong? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, because I'm really curious. But I think, and again, I could be completely wrong, right? Bai Chi is an infantry commander. This could be another infantry commander. He has a sword after all. So I mean, at the end of the day, like, we really have no idea. This is all speculation. But you know, the arrows in the background, and we saw the archers in the beginning of the video. I think we're gonna get an archer. Okay, I think this dude is an archer. I think Emperor Jin looks like an archer to me. All right, and if he is, you know, if I were a betting man, I would say this is a key KVK story. That's what I'm thinking. All right, I know that the timing works out with the archer release, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this is part of a key story, a new KVK coming to the game, and this is sort of the preliminary early reveal trailer leak, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and I expect him to be a special archer that comes around with this. And if that's the case, how would you get your hands on him? You would probably get your hands on him in the same way that we got Ragnar Prime, right? So if you log in for a certain number of days, you'll probably unlock him for free, and then after that, you know, there's probably going to be bundles you can get him in, and beyond that, he'll probably eventually show up in the legendary tavern, something along those lines, maybe the daily special offer months from now, right? So that's kind of, you know, if he is a key KVK story commander, that's how I expect we'll be getting our hands on him. I don't, you know, just like with Ragnar Prime, he's not on the Wheel of Fortune, he's not in the Mighty's Governor event. So if that's the case, you know, I expect some sort of special event to come out for this commander specifically, which is good news, bad news, right? You know, if you're able to log in and unlock him for free, that's awesome, right? Like, that's really cool. But honestly, I'm at this point, I'm just speculating. We have no idea how we're gonna get this dude. Let's just be real, right? They could do something totally different. They could make it so that way you only get him if you win the KVK. They could do so many different things to get this commander in the hands of players. So again, I just want to be very clear, this is all speculation on my part, but again, if we look back at what they've done in the past, that's kind of my expectation for how we might get him in the future, if my speculation is correct. Now, recently I made a video talking about how the developers can make archers meta again. So if you guys missed that video, go ahead and check it out if you want to see different ways that I think the devs can make the new archers, or in this case this gentleman, super powerful. But really quick, just to recap, if we're going to see him be really powerful and bring archers back up to the meta, first of all, I'd like to see him be skill damage, right? Let's just keep it simple, make it skill damage, 5 target AoE, 20% march speed, and the damage factor, let's call it 2400 minimum, 2500, right? Like, I think if we're going to power creep him a little bit compared to Bai Chi, which I think archers need, then we're going to make him 2600 5 target AoE. Half circle would be fine, full circle would be, you know, the signature archer strategy, so I think that would be really cool as well. Everything else beyond that, I'm really curious. It seems like they've been adding a lot of attack to these new commanders, right? If we look at, I mean, obviously the most recent release for infantry, but also the rework of like Chook, for example, lots of these commanders have a ton of attack these days and a small amount of health, right? We saw that with Bai Chi, we saw that with King Arthur, right? So there's a lot of instances of them going down the attack route, especially with the new KVK tech coming out and giving you defense and health. So I expect we'll probably see a lot of attack on this dude, but you know, I mean, really, if we saw a bunch of attack and a bunch of march speed on him with a 5 target circular AoE, that's the dream come true for Zhuge Liang, right? Like, that would be the pair made in heaven, especially if he has the skill tree, bro. Oh my god. So I'm getting excited. I can't wait to see what this dude is actually all about. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. What if he's an archer? You know, do you think he's going to be an archer? Who do you think it is? If he is an archer, what do you want to see from him? And let me know anything else that you want to chime in down below. Am I wrong about this stuff? Am I wrong about who this dude is? I want to know in the comment section below. And while you're down there, drop a thumbs up on the video. It really helps out the channel a ton. It helps get this video out into the YouTube YouTube algorithm so other Rise of Kings players might see it. And while you're down there, again, consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. If you want to be notified of breaking news for this potential new commander, then go ahead and click that bell button down below so you get notified whenever I post another Rise of Kings video. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace. Qin Shi Qin Shi Huang